All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Grid City Press podcast. I'm here with my co-hosts. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Oliver.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Sasha.
We got Sasha. He's replacing Harper today. It's his first time ever on a podcast, so bear with him. You know, he's learning the ropes.
Yeah.
But as long as you talk in front of the mic, I think everything will be fine. Anyway, we've got a nice week of Utah sports to recover. I don't know about nice week. There were some ups, there were some downs, but how you boys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Feeling good. Feels good to rest after a long week and good week of sports.
Yeah, I feel tired, pretty crappy after the game.
Yeah,
Result.
Oh, yeah. We will get into that result later in the episode. But we're going to start with the Utah Mammoth like we usually do. Ethan's going to be taking over this segment.
Welcome to the Mammoth portion of the Grid City Press podcast. I'm going to start us off by talking about just the last 3 games. The Mammoth are 3-2 through 5 games. Pretty good, small sample size, but I think we're playing pretty good hockey right now. Karel Vamelka has played really good. Veggie. He has a .912% or save percentage with a 3-1 record. We lost to the Blackhawks. We beat Calgary, who beat Edmonton in overtime, and we beat the Sharks. We absolutely mopped the floor with them. I'll get into that. I think overall, Utah didn't have a very strong offensive presence against the Blackhawks. I think that's something we missed out on that we got in the Sharks game. Chicago didn't get many chances to score either, but we outshot them largely. Unfortunately, we outshot them. We just couldn't get any good attempts, good quality shots off on goal to really put us up. We couldn't generate many threatening chances, is what I should say. While we outshot them and controlled possession, that's a hard thing. Is we controlled possession, we just didn't get any strong goal shot attempts to score. Couldn't score off it. They were honestly, the Blackhawks were okay with us controlling possession. They were fine with us controlling the puck. I think honestly we should have realistically gotten points from this Blackhawks team. They are pretty good, doing pretty good this season, but I still think we should have at least taken at least a point off them. JJ Peterka, he got his first goal. Dylan Gunther created his goal chance, and he's been amazing so far this season. Dylan Gunther overall, he's been so good. I think he's one of our shining stars like he was last season. And, you know, no need to really hang our heads on this. It's still early in the season. I don't really care that much, but, you know, it happens to a lot of teams. A lot of teams kind of fell off, or not fell off, but had results like this. So it's unfortunate, like the Golden Knights. But
Yeah, interesting stretch this week. Glad we came away with 2 wins, but I feel like we could have snagged all 6 points this week. Blackhawks game was obviously a disappointment, but I think it shows a lot that we bounced back versus the Flames and the Sharks. After going 2-1 this week, we are in 4th in the Central West Division, which honestly, surprisingly, I didn't think we'd be as high as 4th. Obviously, we've had some pretty mediocre opponents. All 3 teams had a losing records going into our matchups this week, but especially that commanding win against the Sharks on Friday, 6-3, that's huge.
Yeah, it probably puts us up big time for momentum-wise, just coming off that win. And then obviously the Blackhawks have a new coach this year, so it's gonna be a new. They're looking different than last year for sure. But I think beating Calgary and Sharks will push us to the Bruins
for sure.
And let's go a little more into depth on the Calgary game, because that was our first game at home this season. New Delta Center, new mascot. Ethan will get into, but Ethan was the only one of us 4 at the game. How were the vibes? How did it feel to be back in the Delta Center?
The energy in the Delta Center was really good. I mean, everybody showed out. There were some empty seats I saw, but it filled up later on in the game. I was really happy with how loud people were. Karel Vamelka actually interviewed after the game, and he was talking about how he loves when the crowd chants his name, Veggie, he loves when people do that. And I thought that was awesome.
I would too.
Love doing that.
That was the new horn.
Oh yeah, the goal horn. It is so loud. They debuted it before a goal when people were quiet, and it's scary how loud it is. It's
crazy.
Insane.
That's awesome.
And another note on that, shout out the Mammoth social team. They posted a nice video of going to the factory that the horn was made in and testing it out.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I just feel like Ryan Smith is doing a great job as someone who enjoys and appreciates social media teams for sports teams. I think the Jazz and the Mammoth are in good hands with that. We'll get into the Jazz later, but they had a nice cooking segment. So I think just little fun videos like that. We'll jump right into the mascot. What's our new mascot?
So after we revealed the goal horn, the Mammoth revealed their mascot, Tusky.
Tusky.
Came out of a big iceberg. I thought the reveal was pretty cool. They showed a video up on the screen, and then they rolled out this iceberg, and this guy's like, "This is my biggest discovery," and then Tusky comes popping out. It's cool. Harper posted a video of it, but I mean, I I like it. I thought the Mammoth's colors were cool,
Yeah, I think it's fun.
and the logo for him is sick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the nice little cartoon logo. He also has an Instagram that I followed that they post a lot on. So it's just good to see in mascot. We got the Jazz Bear obviously standing in for Tusky last season, so it's good to finally have our identity in the mascot world. But, yeah, pretty fun stuff. We also got the new entrance for the players that comes up and down. It's like the mountain-looking thing with the two tusks coming out with the Utah on the sides and the Mammoth logo on the top. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool tradition in NHL to have entrances like that. I saw a bunch around the league debut this year. So, yeah, super exciting stuff.
So going to the Calgary game, last year we swept Calgary, and this Calgary team actually beat Edmonton in OT. Overall, like we said, great atmosphere in the Delta Center. I love the presentation. JJ Peterka had another really good game. Yes. I'm really happy with him. I think he could be elite. I want to say world class. I don't know if people use that term, but I want to say he could be definitely world class.
He's a great addition.
He's definitely a great addition.
Yeah, and I think it takes a little bit of the weight off of Gunther's shoulders to be the main goal scorer. Obviously, we'll get into Schmaltz goal scoring against the Sharks, but obviously Gunther is our goal scoring guy. So for someone like Peterka to already step in and have 2 goals in the season is huge.
Yeah, I mean, and we said we wanted to see more out of him. He's doing just that. He's looking really good. He got a really good solo goal off a steal, unassisted. He stole it, went past half, and had a beautiful slot past the keeper. I mean, it was good because earlier in the first period, I think it was Logan Cooley. He had a breakaway and couldn't score it. So it was good to see him get that one-on-one. Really built our confidence. Vejmelka had another great game. I mean, it's just back to back to back for Vejmelka. He's doing really good every single game. He saw a lot less shots than the Calgary keeper, Devin Cooley. That's his name. He saw a lot less shots, but he had a great save percentage again. Again, we outshot them largely, and I do feel like there was a low amount of shots on goal to goals. I wish we finished a lot more of them, but I mean, even having that pressure is just a good thing. Seeing that we're taking these shots and getting a lot of shots on goal, like it's not a bad thing to see. I think, obviously said the Logan Cooley breakaway, he looked a lot better still in the next game, but the goalie had a lot of great saves for Calgary, unfortunately. And then we got scored on by a power play goal, and we proceeded to go 0-6 in power plays. I think once again our power play, it was just the biggest talking point for Harper and I at the game. We talked a lot about how we couldn't score on power play and proceeded to go 0-6 after we got scored on by the power play, when our penalty kill has been really good this season. But other than that, it was really entertaining. The crowd was great. The fighting, there was a gloves off fight that happened. That was crazy to watch. I'd never seen. And they played like a boxing dinging sound when that was about to happen. I was like, wow, this is like a spectacle. And yeah, other than that, the goalies, the goals, everything. Love the first Mammoth home experience. And I think our defense deserves a lot of credit as well. It's been so good. It improved a lot from last season. So
yeah, overall great games this week. Sharks are our bottom feeder of the NHL. So to have a commanding 6-3 win was great, and a hat trick from Schmaltzy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the Sharks is they're kind of like, I want to say they're in a rebuild. They have a lot of good pieces like Celebrini and Will Smith, who came from Boston College. He led in scoring in
Will
NCAA.
Smith?
Yeah, Will Smith.
Will Smith, shout out Will Smith.
Shout out Will Smith. But Celebrini, he's really good. He could honestly win the Calder Trophy. He's that good. But last season we took 5 out of 6 points from them last year, and it wasn't really easy. There was a couple iffy points, but Nick Schmaltz had a hat trick and an assist.
Oh yes,
beautiful goals. I mean, they were really beautiful goals. And we almost had the same scoreline as last season, or as preseason. We beat them 6-4 in preseason. But yeah, the Mammoth were just a better team. Thankfully, Clayton Keller recorded a hat trick of assists this game.
3 assists and a goal for Keller.
Yeah, it was a great game for him. It was just a day of hat tricks for the boys. Liam O'Brien, spicy tuna.
Oh yeah, spicy tuna finally got on the board for the Mammoth.
Awesome.
He got a goal, and so did Michael Carcone, who also scored for the Mammoth. Vemelka stopped 18 shots, another great performance, and like I said, it's just back-to-back from him. And then, our third win in 4 games, second straight. All I just want to talk about is that Schmaltzy third goal. He scored it 54 seconds into the third period from Keller, put us up 4-2, and he got us on the scoreboard early in the first period. So, yeah, great game from him.
Yeah, Schmaltz is a beast, and that spicy tuna goal, I think it just proves that those journeymen of, any respective sport, just for someone that goal was obviously awkward where the goalie was, Sharks goalie was behind the net, fetching the puck, and Spicy Tuna took it and puts it in the back of the net. I think it's just important. It's like a breakaway in basketball or a long run in football. It's a super simple task to, for example, put the puck in the back of the net, but for someone like that, that's not the starter, not the highlight reel type of player. I think it's just super important to just get a goal out of Spicy Tuna.
For Spicy Tuna and Schmaltz to also just get their stats going for the season and kind of get going, it's going to put them to do better for the next games to come because we're going to need those guys.
Yeah, 100%. And leaders on the season, Nick Schmaltz, obviously with 3 goals, and he leads us in the goal category and assist category with 4 assists.
Great
so
game.
Schmaltz is our runaway MVP at the moment. Obviously, we're only 2 weeks in. Another note, Paterka, 2 goals in the season. That's great for someone coming over. And, just great goal and assist leaders there. Coming up, we play the 3-3 Bruins later today, which is Sunday. And then we play the 5-0-1 Avs on Tuesday at
That's gonna be
home.
good.
So that's going to be a big game. Blues on Thursday. Blues just got manhandled by the Blackhawks, I believe, this week. And then we play the Wild on Saturday. So great upcoming games. Any predictions on... We'll just count the Bruins game. We got 4 games, so 8 total points possible. What are your predictions? How many points will we walk away with this week?
I think we'll take away 2 points at least.
Oh, 2.
the Bruins.
Only 2.
I think the hardest game...
Sorry. I
Two.
think
Go ahead.
I think we'll beat the Bruins, but...
Out of the 4 games. We have
Out of
4
the four-
games. How many points
Oh,
are
you
we
wanted to
gonna
go
take?
the 4 games.
Yeah.
Just 2, man.
I think we win 3 of them. I think we go ahead and we go 75%. The Avs is obviously going to be a tough game. I think an overtime loss would be huge out of that game just because the
Yeah.
Avalanche are so dominant. But we're at home. You know how the Delta Center can carry the momentum. I think we beat the Blues. I think we beat the Wild. And I think we beat the Bruins today. And I say we lose to the Avs.
Yeah, I think they're going to be harder games than we think. Blues are ranked 3-2 too early in the season, so who knows what can happen. But I think definitely the hardest game is going to be the Bruins. But if we can take it to today, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Game's on ESPN too. We can get some good coverage for that
Oh,
Avalanche
yes.
game.
That will be a big game.
A lot
That
of
will be
people
a
can
huge
watch
game
that
again. I think we'll take at least the Bruins. I don't know about the Avalanche. Like you said, an overtime loss to them would be really, really important and good. We had a great performance against them already, so I hope we can bring that back, especially defensively. I didn't say this earlier, but Simashev has been really good, and I think I'm really happy with his performance, especially against Calgary. So I think if we can have a good defensive game against Colorado, we can take an overtime loss, at least give them a run for their money, show them, again, what we can do. So I'm hoping for an overtime loss against Colorado.
100%. And before we get into the Utah Jazz segment, I'd like to thank Ethan. He's been doing a lot of research, getting into the Mammoth a lot more in depth, especially with Harper out today. So we appreciate that, Ethan. We hope we can bring you some good... Oh, wow. Give it up for Ethan. Anyway, all of our strengths, like Sasha, we bring in Sasha today because he is probably the biggest Utah football fan we know.
Oh man,
Him and Harper are up
hear
there.
a
They
lot.
know everything, the inside and out. So if you don't hear much from Sasha at the beginning of the episode, just wait till Utah football because he's got a lot to say. But yeah, that wraps up the Utah Mammoth segments, and we'll see you when we talk about the Utah Jazz.
All right, everybody. This is Oliver. I'm welcoming you to the Jazz segment for Grid City Press. Let's get into it. So, some good games here. We got we played the Mavericks.
Yep.
Cooper Flag. You both went.
Yep.
Both went to the
Oh,
game
yeah.
with my dad and Eloise. How's the preseason look? I know it was kind of cheaper tickets. Good to see some games.
Oh, it was great. I mean, we spent $11. Good to see number 1 pick Cooper Flag.
Doesn't get much better than that.
As a Duke basketball fan, really cool to see Cooper Flag along with Derek Lively play. Anthony Davis looked amazing for the Mavericks.
He ran us.
But obviously, we're here to talk about the Jazz. Some standout players. I just didn't realize how good Nurkic is. Nurkic is a great center in this league, and with all the Walker Kessler contract rumors, him leaving, even if he stays, I think Nurkic is a great backup center. He's obviously brings that veteran presence, but he can shoot the 3 ball. I think the energy was it was good. I mean, we'll talk about another preseason game with the Utah Utes, but it's just good to be back in the atmosphere. Preseason games feel like a regular season game. I feel like with the production of the event. So, yeah, it was great to be back in the Delta Center.
Yeah, we played the Trailblazers most recently, and we had Kyle Filipowski coming back to the starting lineup. Sasha, let me get some of your thoughts. How are you feeling about this season coming up and with our first real game being this week?
So
we have one more preseason, actually. Do we?
No, I think we jumped right into
jump right into the Clippers.
Okay.
this Wednesday.
Right.
But, yeah, I think the Jazz are doing really good. Nah, obviously not in the beginning. They went 0-3 to start off, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
there. I am surprised, there was, I think it was the Rockets game. I could be wrong, but Love just shooting that 3 ball. I think he went like a whole game without missing, and then next game, of course, he did miss a couple. But excited to see these old veterans around. It is kind of cool to see them, surrounded by like Ace Bailey and all those other kids. But I don't know. Kind of still iffy on Ace Bailey. He hasn't sold me yet, but
And we do have a little bit of a concern with some leg issues with Ace Bailey, keeping him out of this game against the Blazers. And I read an article about it could be concerning long term for this.
Tendonitis or something?
I'm not sure.
That's what the coach Hardy was saying.
Yeah, so hopefully we can see Ace Bailey back as soon as possible. But in that Blazers game, Markkanen putting up 15, Walker Kessler back in the starting lineup putting up 14 and 10.
yeah,
And
Jeremy
he made a
Grant
3.
ran us though.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant 30 bomb on us.
Yeah,
But
Still got the dub.
Svi Maka. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name.
Go ahead.
Come
3.
on. We know Svi here at the podcast already, guys. But yeah, I think this preseason is a good way to tell like what players are in or out. Obviously, we just waived Mo Bamba after he played this game, kind of getting rid of some baggage. So we're just seeing really who's here to play. I think Kyle Filipowski is going to be a huge player for this game, for this team this year, and I'm really looking forward to the Clippers game versus John Collins.
I know. Yeah, a little homecoming for John Collins. But I'd like to talk about Keontae George. He was my preseason MVP pick for the Jazz.
Played really well.
Played really
great.
well. Shot 7 for 11 from the field, 50% from 3, knocking down three of them. Had 20 points, looked good, had a great block as well. It's
Beautiful.
always good to see a guard getting up there. Yeah, but like Oliver said, Filipowski finding his way into the starting lineup. I think he has really solidified a top 7 player on this team. Like I think he's going to be either starting or coming right off the bench for the season because obviously his summer league performance was great. But
Yeah, we
Taylor-
started 3 7-footers this game. So, and that's the first time we've seen that. And it's Walker Kessler is 2 assists away from a triple double.
yeah,
So
great game from Walker Kessler. Hopefully we can save him. I've been reading all about Markkanen leaving, all about Kessler leaving. I just hope Ryan Smith. Obviously Ryan Smith doesn't have like Danny Ainge. Hopefully he can hold both of them down, keep them for this season. I just think it'd be fun to see this, like Oliver said, 3 7-footers starting. I think that's must-see TV for the Utah Jazz. Point guards obviously looking great. We got Keontae. We got Isaiah Collier still out on injury. But, yeah, I think there's a lot to be excited for this week's opener.
I honestly, like you said about Nurkic, he kind of seems like a playmaking center, and he can really, like you said, shoot that 3. It was disgusting against the Mavs. He kept throwing him down. The announcer was screaming his name, who we can't talk about the announcer.
Oh, yeah.
We just
New announcer. New voice of the Utah Jazz. Yes, he came over from Atlanta. Voice of the Utah Jazz, for anyone wondering. He's the guy that's in the stadium going 3-pointer, Walker Kessler. He's making those announcements. He's introducing the starting lineup.
did you hear him at the Mavericks game?
Yeah. That was his first
Does he sound
official.
like?
He sounds great. He sounds like the last one. I didn't even know.
Oh, okay.
If you didn't tell me he was new, I
Oh.
think it's because they all just have that nice deep voice. Anyway, shout out
That's
him.
great. Yeah.
I was happy with preseason though. Like I said in previous episodes, I do think the wins are going to take time with these young guys. I feel like it's more of a development season, like getting a little bit better, 22% every year or every game. So I'm
22% shout.
really-
I like it.
I'm excited to see, Sensabaugh and Ace Bailey and Isaiah Collier and all these guys link up slowly. Walter Clayton has been amazing. He definitely is the most pro-ready. Like we've said that multiple times, but he's definitely the most pro-ready. He's looking so good. I'm very happy with this guy.
Yeah, I saw a post about him being the steal of the draft, showing some highlights from his preseason. He just looks so comfortable, and we've said this in the last 2 episodes. But yeah, it was great to be back in the Delta Center. If you're watching the video version, I'm wearing a Utah Jazz shirt because we got it tossed to us during the preseason game. Not a lot of people in the Upper Bowl, but $11 tickets hard to pass. I mean, Oliver and I will be going to the Utah Jazz versus Suns game here in a week or so. It's just good to have Jazz basketball back. I think after a season of tanking, it's just exciting to see our true potential, see where we end up.
That was actually, I didn't even know this. That was their worst record in franchise history. Yeah. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, actually.
Don't really have a high ceiling to
That's what you get for tanking.
Go, so.
Yeah, but Jazz, this week we'll have 2 regular season games. We host the Clippers, obviously, Wednesday with a 7 p.m. tip-off. You can watch that on SEG Plus or Jazz Plus or KJazz. And then, we mentioned this before, Jazz only have 2 primetime games this season.
Wow.
So
same as last season.
Almost every game will be on KJazz or Jazz Plus already. And then we travel to Sacramento to take on the we travel to Sacramento to take on the Kings Friday, October 24th with an 8 p.m. tip-off. 2 games this week. Any predictions on a win and loss record?
Both for the season?
No, just for these 2 games.
For these 2 games, these 2 games, I think these are 2 teams that we definitely have the capability of beating, especially depending on, I don't know if Kawhi Leonard's even going to play this year. But anyways, I just think that these are both doable wins. I really do think that. I think this being the first game, it's super exciting to see who we're going to be having starting, because if Isaiah Collier, Ace Bailey, Kyle Anderson, if they're all still hurt, it's going to be interesting to see all these different lineups this year. We just need to stay healthy.
Yeah, head coach Tyronn Lue said after the Clippers' preseason win versus Sacramento that Kawhi Leonard wouldn't play again until the regular season. So I think we should be expecting him to play versus the Jazz this Wednesday.
I think the Clippers are a little scary. Not gonna lie.
I think they are too.
I think they're a little scary. I think that's gonna be a tough game for us. I'm gonna stick to my guns. Wins are gonna take time. I don't know if we're gonna take the one against the Clippers. I think we can give them a run for their money, but I'm gonna say we're not gonna take the one against the Clippers, but that's okay. And the Kings, they just picked up Russell Westbrook.
Insert the LeBron scare.
They just picked up Russell Westbrook. I think we can take the Kings game for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think we go 1-1 this week.
I think we can go 1-1 this week.
What about you, Sasha?
I actually think the opposite. I think we can take the win against the Clippers. Could be a crazy game. Beginning of the season, a lot of people are injured, so you never really know what's going to happen. First 10 games, I feel like are a little bit boof, but I think we can take a win, definitely at home. And then I think we'll lose on the road against the Kings. I think Sabonis is out, so
yeah, that's true.
I think
that might be a win.
They will light the beam, though. They will light
the beam.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that'll be hard on the road for first-time players. Even same with preseason, though.
That's fair.
I know they did play preseason.
Yeah,
Georges Niang is out, so
the minivan is out. Unfortunately, didn't see him in preseason.
Glue for the Jazz.
He's our secret weapon. Just wait till we unleash him.
I know.
Just wait until he plays KD.
Pretty bad.
Oh yeah, he locks in when he plays KD. Anyway, any last final thoughts on the Utah Jazz?
Excited for this week?
I hope we can get 30 wins this season.
I like it. I think that's a good milestone.
How are we going to watch the game? Me and you, or are we going to find?
We're gonna have to get.
I'll FaceTime you. I'll FaceTime you on my KJazz.
No, we just need to get rabbit ears to watch.
KJazz is television, right?
Yeah, okay. And you can watch Utah 16. You can watch Mammoth games with rabbit ears.
Oh, sweet.
So, like I said in the past,
rest in peace, Stream East, baby.
No, there's other links for sure.
Anyway, that's going to conclude the Utah Jazz segment of the Grid City Press podcast, and we'll see you next week. I'd like to welcome you to the RSL Corner within Grid City Press podcast. Guys, we have some good news. RSL has made the playoffs. Thank you, Sasha, for the enthusiasm.
Of course, dude.
I still can't believe it. I think we can all admit that we kind of gave up on RSL a few months ago in the playoff hopes, obviously.
I didn't.
Okay. Anyway, RSL clinches their 5th straight playoff berth. I'd like to give it up for Pablo. Pablo is the glue of this team. Oh, yeah. Clap it up for Pablo.
All those Pablo out chants, man. They never worked.
Yeah. I will be honest. I was on the Pablo out train for a little bit, but I think he's seeing his joy, the joy on his face last night when we took down St. Louis. So we'll get right into the St. Louis game. Oliver, you want to jump through that lineup we had last night?
Oh, I would love to. It was super fun. We had to have 2 screens going on because of the Utes BYU game, obviously, but we were staying pretty in tune with it. Our best starter, I personally think, Olatunji at top. We had Consalves on the left with Luna in the middle, and our little youngster, Gozo on the right. We had Kalaskan and Ojeda in the middle, and Nelly's still kind of a little slow from a knock, but he was able to come in later. We got Junqua on the left due to Katranis being suspended from yellow cards.
Yeah.
And we had Vera in the center with Glad, a really good pairing, and then Yedlin on the right. And our Iron Man, Cabral on goalkeeper, baby.
Yeah, Ethan, what are your thoughts on What are your thoughts on that midfield, Ojeda and
Yeah,
Caliscan?
that kind of surprised me. I mean, I like that they want to kind of squeeze Caliscan into that team, and I think he is kind of a playmaking left back like that. You see a lot of the time he's going up as a fullback on the wide sides, not really into the midfield. I think that's interesting, but I do like it.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, he played right back so much this season. He originally is more of a midfielder, and these last couple of weeks we've been able to see Caliscan play more in the middle position. I think.
Yeah, sorry. Right back.
I honestly think Caliscan might be a little bit stronger or safer than Ruiz at the moment.
I agree. After Ruiz's mishap last game, I think Caliscan's good. I think he's young. I think he can move. Obviously, Ruiz coming off 2 ACL injuries can't. Obviously, that's going to alter his movement a little bit, but Ojeda holding it down. There were a few passes last night. We were a little concerned about Ojeda, but overall, I like this lineup. Obviously, Gozo coming back from the U20 World Cup where they lost in the quarterfinals, I believe, which is unfortunate, but it is fortunate because we got him back last night, put an assist on the board. Luna back from his international duty. I think we're at full strength. I think not starting Rowan Cruz was a great move. He came on as a sub. This game, I'm going to put an asterisk by it because obviously we were trying to park the bus a little bit, trying to get into the playoffs. We had a 2-0 lead, which we'll get into. But, overall solid lineup, and we'll just jump right to the 17th minute. We have a great ball pass from
Diogo
Gonçalves to Olatunji. Olatunji, all 6'4" of him, puts it away. It's great to see a number 9 that can put it in the back of the net. We go back to our past number 9s. We have, why can't I think of his name? Cordova. Struggled to put it in the back of the net.
Scored up.
Willie Agata. I love Willie Agata, but he just struggled to put it in the back of the net.
Good sub. And
Olatunji with 2 great through balls. 32nd minute, we go up 2-0 with a great ball from Gozo. I'm proud of Olatunji for staying onside. He was offside at the beginning of this game when Gozo scored, but that goal got called back. So for him to time his runs, like Ethan was saying last night, super important. And RSL goes up 2-0 early.
There's been a couple times he's been offsides now.
Yeah, he was offside against.
He's just so big.
Well, we tied it up against Seattle last week, and Olatunji was offside.
It's okay. You could tell he was actually paying attention to the lines and timing his run for that second goal. But either way, great game from Olatunji.
Yeah.
We were honestly scared for a little bit that we weren't going to make the playoffs with some of the other performances from Colorado and Houston, right?
Yeah, I'll go more into those games in a second.
Sorry.
But 40th minute, unfortunate handball by Vera. Not much he could do there. And
the last 2 pens have been on him.
Yeah, their DP Marcel Hartel, the German.
Yeah.
He steps up for a pen, takes an awful pen, very slow to Cabral's left. Cabral kind of fell for Hartel's little stutter step, so he jumps off his line. Easy save, horrible pen. That would have been Cabral's 5th save of a pen this season. Gets called back, has to retake the pen. Lowen, their other German, takes the pen, puts it like almost upper 90. Great pen. Unsavable from Cabral. Really unfortunate because Cabral earned that save, I feel like, but he jumped his line a little too early. Yeah. And RSL's only up 2-1 at the half. For reference, RSL needed all 3 points to clinch the playoffs, but if they tied, they just need Colorado to tie. As long as we match what Colorado did, we're in the playoffs. Colorado playing a great LAFC team.
Close game.
Really close game. At one point, RSL jumped up to 8th because Dallas was tied with Vancouver. Then they come back down to 9th. Colorado ties them up. Colorado passes us because they were up 2-1 against LAFC. LAFC thankfully ties it back up. And then St. Louis in the 88th minute, Klaus, their Brazilian superstar, he scores an awkward, weird deflection goal. And RSL's tied. And RSL's hanging on for dear life for the last 10 minutes of this game, hoping to not concede. You could see it on Pablo Mastroeni's face when the final whistle was blown. RSL clinches their 5th playoff in a row. That is the longest active streak in the MLS after New York Red Bull doesn't make the playoffs this year. Just a very interesting season.
It was a little too close, honestly, to make playoffs. As soon as that final whistle is blown, I mean, people kind of get that sigh of relief, but I think it's a little too close. I think we have a good chance in our play-in game.
Yeah.
We don't host it, right?
No.
Not hosting. That's okay. I think we have a good chance, but I still think it's just a little too close for comfort with that.
Wait, so is everything in concrete right now?
Yeah.
Yep, everything's concrete.
Okay.
RSL coming in 9th place with 41 points. Just for some perspective, last year's Western Conference, the final team to make the playoffs, which was the Portland Timbers, had 47 points. So we were 6 points short of them last year, and we still squeak in the playoffs. And for another note, the East. Can anyone guess what ninth place in the East, how many points they got to get into the playoffs this year?
I bet it's higher, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say 60.
60
53,
points.
53.
Okay.
Not 60. That's terrible.
Hold on. We got 41, right?
Keep in mind only
We did.
keep in mind only a handful of teams got 60 points this whole
that
season.
doesn't make sense.
But in the East,
Like
I'm going to
50?
say 46.
okay, 53. Ethan's right. 53 points
Wow.
was the worst playoff team in the East, and in the West, 41. That's a whole 4-win difference. So,
Wow.
I mean,
That's insane.
I'd like to say the Eastern Conference looks better and
They're
deeper,
not.
but I mean, we might have bias for being in the West, but the West is just
in
tight.
all
I feel like it's
sports is
just
like
a
that.
few teams in the East that just kind of
always-
dominate,
yeah.
and the West is stacked with a bunch
Always tight.
of teams.
Like
Yeah.
it's like in every sport.
So, obviously,
That's
RSL finishes with 12 wins, 5 ties, and 17 losses compared to last year's 16 wins, 11 draws, and 7 losses. Obviously, last year we were a lot better, racking up 59 points and getting the 3 seed. But, I mean, doesn't matter. We're in the playoffs. We knock out Colorado. We knock out San Jose. San Jose spends all that money.
Oh, I'm
Gets
so happy
Chicho.
Big
about that,
F you to
dude.
Chicho, dude.
Seriously.
I was reading the San Jose
So glad they didn't
Earthquakes.
make
They're
it.
poor fans, though.
I was reading San Jose's Instagram comments because they ended up in 10th. They ended up right behind us. We only beat them because we had one more win. If they have one more win, we're looking at a whole different story. But
I wish we played them in a play-in match.
that would be electric. But we look at San Jose's. I look at their comment section. Everyone's like, "We're not good if we're fighting for a playoff spot on the last day. We don't deserve it." So
And
it's always
Chicho and Martinez had so many goals.
so many goals. Yeah, looking at RSL's goal leaders for the season, Luna with 9 leading the
Yeah.
team, and then Olatunji,
4.
Gozo, and Diogo with 4.
Not double-digit breakers. That's like crazy.
We just didn't score that many goals this season. I just can't believe
Well, because we didn't get solid strikers until the last.
Yeah, I mean, look at Olatunji though, joining the last 2 months, and
Oh,
he's already
he's gonna-
second in goals.
There's too many problems with that.
Yeah, and I think playing him alone he's going to get even more because there's not as much confusion up
Yeah,
top with like
he's-
Rowan and him, and so it really leaves just him to be
Yeah,
there.
he's got more
And like his
creativity.
2 goals were just so like perfectly like one striker oriented.
It was good. It was a good finish. I mean, this is the kind of shots you need to put back as a striker. But
Great
I think
finishes.
he has a lot more creativity being a solo striker up top.
and
I
he
wonder.
sues after every goal.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to change. Honestly, when we get Rowan Cruz back, I wonder if we're going to keep strong with him and go back to 2-man striker.
Well, Ron Cruz came on as a sub this
Yeah,
game.
like, you're
I
just
mean, like-
trying a different.
I mean, like next game.
Oh, okay, I
like
gotcha.
I wonder if starting lineup's going to change and we're going to have 2 strikers again.
would
I
do
do
the
like
same.
the creativity of just 1 striker. It works out with some teams having 2 strikers, but you don't see it very often because normally you have to go to a. I mean, it just doesn't. You just don't see it very
Well,
often.
we have more skill with Consalves, Luna, and Gozo, which I like more
Yeah.
compared to like Rowan, who really hasn't done too much.
Yeah, I think it's a question mark on Pablo Mastroeni because Ron Cruz, yes, has good striker abilities, but Olatunji, I've credited his work ethic in last week's episode. Unlike Chicho, he likes to get back. If he makes a turnover, he likes to get back. He likes to take that step, maybe do a sacrifice foul. I just don't see that with Ron Cruz in this game. This is why it made me so nervous because Olatunji comes off and Ron Cruz comes on. Or no, Ron Cruz came on
Gotta.
for.
Oh,
Yeah. I can't remember the sub. Anyway, I just get a little nervous in those last 20 minutes with Ron Cruz because I just know Olatunji can fight for it defensively a little bit better than Ron Cruz.
And he's huge for the corners because he's just so big in
Yeah.
the free
Yeah,
kicks
he
because
can
he heads
get a
them
lot
right
of-
out.
He can
But-
get a lot of set piece goals too.
Some interesting facts going into Portland is they haven't scored in their last 2 matches.
Yep.
And they haven't kept a clean sheet in 7 matches, so I think we're definitely going to be able to get a goal.
Yeah, it's insane. Obviously, we host, if you missed it, we host Portland Timbers in the wild card game to fight for the 8th seed in the playoffs to play San Diego. So we have to win this game to make the official playoff bracket. It's going to be this Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. kickoff in Portland. Portland is known for having one of the best supporter section in the league, but like Oliver said, really crazy stat. Portland has 1 win in league play since July 26th. They've won 1 game in the league since July 26th.
So their first half of the season is really why they're here.
Yep, they've
really fell.
lost to a bad Houston team. They've lost to a good Seattle team, a good San Diego team. They've tied versus Dallas, Vancouver. They beat a pretty bad Red Bull team. they've just struggled. And they've won. Yeah, they're coming off a tough streak. Obviously, they're going to like that home field advantage in the wild card game, but it's going to be an interesting game this Wednesday.
Unfortunately, Portland does kind of have our number, but given that stat, I don't know, there's not a lot to argue about.
I know. I think our form's looking good. We got Gozo. We got Luna back. Going back to the stat leaders on the season, assists-wise, Diogo leads the team with 4 assists, and these are FOTMOB assists, not MLS hockey assists. Diogo has 4 assists, and then Luna, Gozo, and Catranis with 3. Pretty cool to see our left back getting some recognition on the assist sheet. But, Gozo at 18 or 17. How old's Gozo? Anybody?
18.
But Gozo coming in second place in goals and assists this season. He has 3 assists and 4 goals.
18.
That's just amazing for Gozo to be that young and having that big of a contribution, even missing all that time with his call-ups for the national team. For him to just rack up 7 goal contributions, that's just amazing.
Yeah, it just really gets you excited even for next year because if Olatunji stays, Gozo stays for a little bit, Luna stays a little bit longer. It's we're just building such a strong core.
Yeah, I like having Gozo on the right side because with Catranis, Luna sometimes on the left, Diogo a lot on the left. Our left side I think is really strong, especially attacking wise when we have Luna to link up with Catranis, a fullback getting into the box. Attacking options are really strong on the left side. So I think our right side attacking option with Gozo specifically strengthens that a lot, makes us a lot more. What is it when you're versatile? Yep. It makes you a lot more versatile for the attack. It gives the strikers a lot more options because, a lot of the time they're very picky. Maybe they want it this way, they want it that way, they want the ball to come at their feet. Gozo can do that. Luna could do that on the left. Diogo could do that on the left. So it makes us very versatile for the attack, and I think that's really good. If we didn't have a strong right winger, this would be a completely different story because, we do have a fullback, but it's just not as good as Catranis, Luna, Diogo, I don't think.
Yep.
I agree. And shout out Royal Riot Podcast for bringing us some training interviews this season. We got to see one from Olatunji talking about how important this game versus St. Louis was. I'm glad he's bringing the passion. He knows what the playoffs are all about. Same with Johnny Russell in another training interview.
We got to get on those. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, and talking about Johnny Russell, let's say we go into Portland. Okay, we go up 1-0. 80th minute comes. Do we want Johnny Russell in there or do we want Rowan Cruz in there? Johnny Russell.
He's got a lot more energy. Plus, remember that interview? He's I don't like sitting at home during the playoffs. That's the fire he's going to get from the playoffs. I think he also brings a lot more pace to the pitch when he comes on the field.
Yeah, and we don't.
Who would you sub on for?
He can sub on for. He can play
Gozo. He
can play anything up top.
Personally, I think the 3 subs we had last night were really solid. Agata, Rawan, and Anelli.
Yeah.
Both 3 because those 3 guys are starters even. So.
Yeah, I think it's super important to realize that Johnny Russell is one of the only players to bring that MLS veteran style play up top. Obviously, we got Glad on the back line, but other than that, a lot of players haven't been in the MLS for that long.
Yeah, and Consalves is finally showing us why he's a DP player. So he's been making really good improvements.
Like you said, when he's hot, we're hot.
Yep.
So true.
Diogo, and even the announcer said that. He said when Diogo's on, RSL's on. To wrap up the RSL corner, I want to go into some regular season stats. We have 9 pens allowed, 5th most in MLS. This is a bad stat, by the way. We allowed 9 pens, but Consalves saving 4 of the 9. Should have saved 5. I'm sorry.
Cabral.
Cabral. Sorry. Cabral saved 4 of the 9 pens.
That's insane. And he would have had 5 last night.
Yeah, and these are we just didn't excel in many stats this year. We also had the most red cards on the season.
Wow.
Out of any team?
Yeah, with 6 red cards.
Yeah, weird.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even remember that much.
Or half of those Vera.
I think half of those are Luna. Luna had 2, I think, and he had 1 that got rescinded. And he almost had a red card last night. Thank you, VAR. Jumping into my regular season MVP, it has to be Cabral. Like Oliver said, the Iron Man of this team. 7 clean sheets, 4 pen saves. He's the reason we made the playoffs. Yes. Last night, he's the reason we didn't lose 4-2. He had some amazing saves down the stretch to keep the tie, and he's just so consistent. Obviously, that pen that he allowed last night, awkward from Vera. The retake of the pen messes with him, and then they get a nice little goal from Klaus. But he's just played great this season, and I can't wait to watch Cabral next year and this Wednesday.
Yeah, what an interesting year. Just thinking, especially Charlie having Mark Zook as his MVP. You thought he was just going to kill it. And then you wouldn't even expect Gozo to come out of nowhere. And that's who my MVP is, because Gozo's really just helped this team progress.
Sometimes it's hard to, I don't want to say fall in love with, but it's hard to pick a player that you love so much because they move around so often.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about our striker issues. Like, you maybe pick one of them and then one goes to the Monarchs, one becomes a sub, doesn't play that much. Like,
we rotated through so many different strikers.
Gets
this
completely
year.
Replaced. Mark Zook gone. I mean, Gomez last season, sad turnout. We miss him, but I can't argue with the Cabral MVP. He's different on he's different in games where we're losing, or maybe close to a loss. He really keeps the motivation, the fire in the stadium at home, especially when he's making these big saves. He's very important for us. A lot of saves, a lot of these young keepers, even good keepers nowadays, wouldn't make a lot of the time. So I think he's very important to the energy of this team and the drive.
100%. And hopefully he can get Vera and Glad going for this wildcard game. It's just hard.
We need them.
As much as we want to compliment the midfield, it's hard for our back line because Vera and Glad have played almost every game together the last 2 years, and there's just still a lot of questionable moments.
I mean, there's been a lot of ins and outs with injuries and Quentin coming in for a little bit and things like that. So, but they're building it.
You just hope they can tie things together. Vera has had some very questionable tackles. He almost got called for another penalty. He got called for the handball penalty this game, but he almost got called for another penalty with an awkward step. Obviously, he conceded the penalty versus Seattle. I think he just needs to be careful. I think he needs to play his game. I think he gets in his head when he makes those steps, and he's always getting those VARs. He just needs to be careful back there. Obviously, I haven't seen as many bad Glad moments these last few games. No questionable steps. Obviously, some weird management back there with who's got who. But I think Yedlin holds it together. That's another name we haven't mentioned today.
Great pickup.
Yedlin and Olatunji are great signings for this season for our playoff run. And honestly, if we have Yedlin and Olatunji to start this season, I think it's a whole different ball game. I think we can squeak into the top 6 if we get things going. So, big things coming for RSL. Like I said, 5th straight playoff appearance. It's just going to be so good to watch some more RSL.
I'm hoping we could squeak into the playoffs, dude.
So excited for that game Wednesday.
I don't want to go out
so
in a playing game.
We should all watch that game Wednesday night.
Yeah.
8:30.
And if we make the playoffs, we got to watch that game with Phoenix because
play
San Diego.
Oh,
yeah.
we do. We need to all go to that game like we did last time.
I can't wait for I want us to get past the plane because I want
bad.
a home playoff game so bad.
In other news, Vancouver goes down a man early against Dallas, ties it up with a Mueller pen, but then they lose. And since San Diego beats Portland, San Diego jumps to the number 1 seed. And I'm not going to lie, though. As RSL, I 100% rather play San Diego than Vancouver.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Vancouver's one of the scariest teams.
And San Diego, like St. Louis. St. Louis, number 1 in the West, first season, gets out first round of the playoffs. They're just not used to that playoff.
It's the new team syndrome every single time. Yeah. It's like Austin was great their first year or two. Horrible now.
Yeah, and San Diego has thrived on the road. They have a crazy record for most points on the road. They tied Inter Miami's point tally last year in the 1998 or some early Galaxy team. Only 3 teams have scored that many points on the road. So if we beat Portland, we are guaranteed 1 home game against
San
Diego. But honestly, I don't mind playing on the road. We beat San Diego at home. We were the first team to ever beat San Diego in their own place this season.
That's crazy.
Obviously, we have to get through Portland, but we'd like to give some intel on what would happen if we beat Portland. Let's hope Portland's slump can continue and RSL can find the back of the net and cruise on to the playoffs.
Awesome. Looking forward to this game this Wednesday.
Yep. Thankfully, Luna did not get a red card last night.
Yep, that would have been detrimental. We did sub him late in the game. It's just hard because it's those – and I know that Luna, if you look at the paper, he's been getting yellow cards, getting red cards, but the St. Louis player drags Luna, and Luna just shoulders him off, and the guy flops like Luna hit his face. Luckily, Luna only gets a yellow card last night, avoids a suspension. We definitely need him. He is our rock, 9 goals in the season. He's missed so many games from U.S. men's national team call-ups, so I think it's just he's our most important player. Whether he gets an assist or goal in the night, I think it's important to have him on the pitch.
I
agree.
Anyway, that's going to wrap up the RSL Corner segment of this podcast.
Thanks, guys.
This is the Utah football section of the Grid City Press. So obviously just came off of a really heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, to say the
Horrible.
least.
Yeah, to say the least. Utah comes short, 21-24 against our rival BYU. Maybe before I start, you guys got any key takeaways from the game, or?
I think win or lose, this game was super entertaining, and I think obviously we lost. But looking back at it, to have an entertaining game like that, that's all the Holy War is about. Yep. Our other co-host Harper, who wasn't there, I had to give him text updates because he was at the Kentucky-Texas football game and he didn't have service. And I was reading my texts, and I'm sure he was reading mine in awe. Like, there were so many moments that you just wouldn't see coming. Crazy game.
I think my key takeaway is coaching decisions with the field goals. Firstly, I think
fourth downs.
Yeah, and fourth downs. We went for so many fourth downs. Like, I don't know. Yeah. It's just, I understand it's a rivalry game and you want to make this maybe, I don't think it's about entertainment, but I still think that's a big key takeaway. And then my other key takeaway is that we become a passing offense when there's 2 minutes left. I think
forced to, yeah.
Yeah, we're forced to become a passing offense, and it works out. When there's 2 minutes left, we get a touchdown to close the gap. 2 minutes left in the game, and I just think, I mean, listen, I'm not hating on the run game, but I feel like a lot of times nowadays a passing offense is pretty modern, and I kind of want to see that more out of Utah. I mean, Devin Dampier
Why did we do that? Why did we not run the ball at the end of the game?
Well, because we needed to throw it because we had no timeouts.
We had no time to do anything.
Keep running.
And listen, I'm not hating on the run game. It works out a lot, and BYU is a big run team, and they do it a lot. But I feel like I want to see more out of the passing game from Devin Dampier.
Yeah.
Just the team in general.
I think everyone does. It's just unfortunately not the quarterback he is. But, when it comes down to it, he'll sling it. Yeah. It was pretty painful to watch him passing at the end of the game. Bro was hobbling in and out off plays. Yep. Like, he looked really hurt. And I'm really interested to see what his injury status or what they'll say for the next game. But I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, we saw Bird Ficklin suit up for a few Wildcats this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him play against Colorado, depending on Devin's injury.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But I think this game comes down to three things: 3rd and 4th down conversions, turnovers, and the run game. I think the run game killed us, and some crazy stats. We outran them 226 yards to 202 yards, and we outthrew them 240 yards to 166 yards. Now, how does a team lose a game when we outthrow them and we outrun them? Turnovers. Like Whittingham said, the winner of this game will win the turnover margin, and we had 2 turnovers and BYU had 0. Mm-hmm. So I think it all comes down to that.
It's so funny to see the rushing stats because our 2 first running backs the 2 running backs of each team had similar yards, and then both quarterbacks were second with the same amount of rushing yards.
Yeah, to be honest, we couldn't get Wayshawn Parker and we couldn't get Nakiri Rogers going.
Mm-mm. They were really just relying on Daniel Bray on that jet sweep option,
Yes,
he'd either take Devin would just run up the middle or just that jet sweep to the side. But, unfortunately, I feel like we're starting a lot of freshmen. He's a true freshman, He did not make that 4th down, but I can't blame him for that. That's a coaching decision. We could have kicked a field goal. We could have. Yeah. I could say he could cut too. He was. God,
so
brutal
close.
tackle to not get that 4th down.
And you want to see those gutsy 4th down calls in a Holy War game like this, but when we go for 4th down and we don't let Dylan Curtis kick that first field goal, you'd like to hope the next 4th down we do kick the field goal.
Exactly, because BYU did that and we stopped them, and then they never really. Yep. Or they did have another one, but
we were 1 for 5 on 4th down conversions, and we were 5 for 12 on 3rd down conversions. From a top team in FBS, those are horrible numbers.
Yeah.
Might have just jinxed ourselves right there. And it's also really weird to see because, I wouldn't say Kyle Whittingham's really conservative, but I'd say most times like this, anyone would kick a field goal or maybe not go for it like that, but he was just go, go, go. And I feel like a little flashback here. I feel like that's how Sataki was. I think 2019 when we were up by 1 and he tried to go for the 2-point conversion to win the game and they lost.
Yeah.
It's all those really gutsy decisions coming in the last. Also, shout out Coach Sataki. Class act dude. Love him as much as I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Great coach for Utah.
Cool to see their relationship.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I love their relationship. And so, who is it that said they play golf together and I love that they're hugging before and after the game and they're homies. And I mean,
his success is because of Coach Witt, so it's cool to see that he's really made a name for himself. And obviously, Coach Prime was even talking about how good of a coach he is.
I think Coach Witt also does get a bad rep. Every time he's on a presser, he doesn't want to say a lot, and then everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's a tool." No, Sataki even talked about it's a competitive nature. Whittingham's also pretty old, and Sataki's an outgoing coach compared to a lot of other coaches. So it's kind of hard to compare him. But yeah,
hey, you got to give
it's a great relationship.
You got to give credit where it's due. BYU starts the season 7-0 again, like last year. We will see where they fall in the AP poll later today. It just makes the loss a little less bitter.
45 minutes.
Where were we last year? During this time,
4-4.
When we played BYU.
Yeah,
wow.
when we played BYU.
Yeah.
So that was just like a holy war win for us. We really had nothing going for us then.
Going back to BYU's class, it makes the loss a little less bitter. If I was in BYU's seats and Utah wins, obviously the Utah fans are going to throw a lot of words towards the BYU fans. So on the losing side of it, it's good to see a coach like Sataki with a lot of class, a lot of respect to Whittingham.
Yeah.
Brings a lot more to the rivalry than just football. But yeah, it's tough. We couldn't get the result we wanted.
Yeah.
At least we made it a 3-point game to close it.
Mm-hmm.
But just a tricky game. Devin, like Oliver said, 244 throwing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception that killed us, and 64 rushing yards. And Bray, the freshman, 121 yards, 10 carries, and 1 touchdown, 50-yard jet sweep. That jet sweep killed BYU. And it's just unfortunate because Devin, and he can scramble out of the pocket easy. He can get out of tackles, but his decision-making, I think, just needs a little bit of a tweak. Sometimes he just sits in the back waiting for someone to get open, and then he ends up getting 1 yard. If he takes off sooner, that's a first down.
He sits in the pocket for way too long. I definitely agree.
And hats off to Bear, BYU's quarterback, freshman. He can bounce tackles. He can get to the end zone. He had that 20-yard where we just couldn't get him down. And I just like to see Devin take control like that if he can. Who knows if he can, but Bear did great.
Yeah.
He ran all over the place, and like last week's episode, I talked about it. The running game was going to be the catalyst to whoever won this game, and even though they didn't get as many rushing yards as us, I think our jet sweep obviously helped with our rushing yards, but it was just tricky.
Yeah, I mean, with Daniel Bray he only had 10 carries compared to LJ Martin's 26, and he had more yards than LJ Martin.
Yeah,
and LJ Martin
because of the sweeps.
They're really just putting him up, LJ Martin up the gut though at the end of the game, trying to run that clock down.
And obviously they ran it. I don't know what the percentage was, but it felt like a 60-40, 70-30 run to pass ratio. But then when they throw the ball, they'd have open receivers. They'd have
Parker Kingston just right out there.
Chase Roberts.
Carson Ryan at the end was coming to life.
Yeah. It's just an unfortunate one. Some key moments in this game. 3rd and 15. I think we get a great pass to Bentley. Bentley gets stripped, and the ball pops into Merriweather's hands, and Merriweather runs for an extra 20. And it felt like we were back, but
that was the coolest play of the game.
Then again,
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, then again, we can't rely on those plays to win the game because we couldn't get any other thing going. But then another is Semi Taulonga, number 99, 317-pound offensive lineman, catches the ball, has a crazy hit stick. That was just fun to watch.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean,
that was only 3 yards.
Well, no, because he had
a
also
negative
had
yard
a
play. Negative yard play that they threw it back to him. He got like 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I think that's where Whittingham thrives. It's like it reminds me of Andy Reid, just throwing in these crazy plays. Like no one would have expected a 300-plus pound offensive lineman catching the ball.
Good hands for him, dude.
Great hands.
But really weird to see how the play calls have progressed over the season. I feel like beginning of the season, it felt like every other play he'd run a wildcat. He put in Hunter Andrews, which was injured now, unfortunately, and then Ficklin, I feel like, was getting a lot of reps. He did get good reps in this game.
Yeah, really good. That play where he just kept going after getting tackled by 6 different guys.
And pushed him in.
I didn't even know Daniel Bray existed. No offense, until Texas Tech game.
And
what a great addition.
Yeah, I think he's a great addition.
Great freshman.
I agree with the play call change. I mean, we were running so many QB draws or just runs that up the middle that their defensive line was stopping, and both teams being good run stopping teams. I'm surprised to see how many yards that Daniel Bray and Devin Dampier got this game, seeing as how
hoping we can see more of our tight ends coming out in these next games. I want to see a lot. I want to see JJ Buchanan more.
I agree. I think he played really good.
I want to see Simmons more.
Yeah, Simmons had a great game.
It was good to see more diverse wide receivers. Lander Barton got a 17-yard catch. It was good to see some.
That targeting call.
That's a great point. I wanted to talk about that. I think Lander Barton, I'm not saying he's the reason we lost, obviously, but that targeting call killed us. Obviously, you want to kill the quarterback. Sorry, that sounds very aggressive, but as a linebacker, as a defensive tackle, you wanna hit the quarterback. And obviously, Lander hit a crazy hit against Bear, but ends up being targeting, gets kicked out of this game. Lander, you could see it on his face, a little distraught, stayed on the sideline. supporting his team. But that if that wasn't targeting, if that wasn't roughing the passer, that's a long second or third down for the BYU.
I mean, I also hate to be one of these what if guys, or a Twitter demon, but there was a lot of video replays on that play before the roughing the passer after he escaped, where there's a lot of holding going on that game.
Yes.
Daly has been getting held a lot. I
Yes.
saw
Our penalties
constantly
overall
on drives,
And
penalties just
like
killed
our
us.
penalties killed us. I mean, there was a clip of Kyle Whittingham saying like, "There's 6 penalties, we have 0." I'm not saying like it's the refs giving bias, but I'm saying like overall we got so many. I mean, what was that one PI call?
Yeah, there's just so many
There's
weird
like
little
two at the
holding
end of the
calls
game.
that
Yeah.
get picked
on
up
our
and
final
some
drive.
guys
And
missed.
it looks like the refs made up for the lopsided calls at the end of the game because
there's 2 PI calls,
Merriweather had an
Yeah.
offensive PI and he should have caught the ball and it called a BYU PI and we got bailed out. But Merriweather needs to catch that ball in the end zone. Obviously, onside kick didn't work out for Dylan Curtis. Ends up hitting Buchanan's leg and the game's over. But just tricky. We just need to be careful. Obviously, there's a lot of holds.
The Carvalho,
Muffed punt.
Yeah, that's
Why would
just-
you go for that?
Exactly.
I don't understand any. He was diving for that forwards.
I know, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt just a little bit. And I was talking to Andy about this, our friend, last night. That ball was dropping in a very populated area, and I understand that he wants to, because he's in control of catching that ball. He's the one that knows where the ball is, so he wants to go catch it. And I just assume that he didn't want the ball to hit one of his other teammates and bounce.
Right.
But you just have to be careful in that situation or call out that the ball's falling because that turnover killed us.
You could say a lot what could happen in the moment, but I mean, obviously, I'm seeing this from a perspective, and he's on the field. But you're diving for that ball. That's gonna hit the front of your hands and roll forward. I'd way rather have it bounce around, maybe. But
It's true.
Well, Utes fall to 5-2 on the season. Obviously, we won't be ranked today, but it's interesting to see how the Big 12 will end up. Texas Tech finding a loss against Arizona State.
it's really just up for everyone. Of course, BYU's undefeated, but we will see. It can always open up. Happened in the Pac-12.
Yep.
But we're coming up this Saturday, 8:15 kickoff, ESPN. It'll be a good game, night game. Everyone thinks it's gonna be the dark mode game. It's actually striped the stadium, kind of weird. But Musta's gonna wear red. They always give him red. But I'm also really excited, real quick, to see when they'll do the hand painted helmets. They haven't announced anything about it.
True.
Love to see what design. Last year they did the Polynesian culture helmet. That was pretty cool.
That was
I like
awesome.
those. Yeah, but really interested to see what they're gonna do. But and then we have Cincinnati. That'll be a good game. They're ranked, and then hopefully that will be dark mode. And then
They're still undefeated, right?
No, they have one loss, and then we will have Kansas State for our last home game. So
Yeah, huge Cincinnati game. Obviously, you need to beat Colorado to get to the Cincinnati game, but Cincinnati's ranked. They won yesterday, Cincinnati, or they won?
Yes, they did. They beat Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's really bad, but 49-17. Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting. Utes obviously need to win out if we even want a shot at the Big 12 title, but I think now we need to shift to hoping BYU goes undefeated, and we need Texas Tech to find another loss to put us in a good position.
But, Texas Tech and BYU actually play next game.
Yeah, so
BYU's going to Texas Tech.
So we need BYU to find a win there in our college football playoff hopes. But, just one.
BYU would need to win?
Yeah, we want BYU to win.
The Big 12 is really opening up. A lot of teams lost last week, so Texas Tech losing is wild, and I think we want that, right?
Why would we want BYU to win if Texas Tech also lost yesterday?
Because we want Texas Tech to get to 2 losses to be tied with us. Because right now, since we have 2 losses, we need to be fighting for that second Big 12 title spot with 2 losses.
Yeah. It's funny, our 2 defeaters going at it.
Yeah. One last thing to mention. I think with the portal, obviously there's a lot of question marks going into next year, but I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel to see freshmen like Bird Ficklin, like Bray, holding it down with a quarterback running back duo. But then Devin's a junior. The Fano brothers are juniors.
Daly's a junior.
I think we could have a super stacked senior class last year if everyone sticks around.
Wayshawn Parker's a sophomore.
Yeah, Wayshawn Parker's a sophomore. Nakiri Rogers, what's his year?
I am not sure. I want to say he's a junior. Maybe a sophomore.
He's a senior.
Senior. Wow, I did not know that.
So
And Ryan Davis, I think this is his 6th season.
Yeah, Ryan Davis is pretty old.
Yeah, and Gary Rogers had 6 touchdowns on the season, 300 yards.
Yeah.
Well, he might have one more. No, never mind.
We'll see, though. This is all up in the air, you know.
Yeah, you
You
never
don't
know.
even know if Whittingham's going to stay.
Yeah,
Coaching staff can change. Everything can change. But
That'd
Obviously,
be crazy.
we must
Obviously, we need to
definitely
finish this year. Luckily, we host the Holy War next year. Should be fun.
see. Mhm.
It's just a bummer because last year, Utes weren't playing for much. Just pride in the Holy War, and we hosted that
hosted
game.
Also, I want to do a holding call.
Like, I think if that game's at Rice Eccles last night,
Game was stolen.
if that game's at Rice Eccles last night, I think we're looking at a whole different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, BYU's The Rock, their student section brings the energy. They were at a false start, our first play of the game. So, yeah, just tricky stuff. Unfortunate, can't get the Holy War win, but we fall 21-24 to BYU. And we look towards next week versus Colorado.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. Thanks for listening to the Utah football segment of the Grid City Press podcast. Welcome to the Utah Utes basketball segment of the Grid City Press podcast. Our other co-host, Sasha, just left us. He had a brunch he had to get to, but we'd like to thank him for coming on, covering for Harper, especially in Utah football.
So knowledgeable with the football, and he's
Yeah.
just
Thank
been
you, Sasha.
he's been such a big fan like his whole life. He really knows what's going on.
Yeah, and you'll see him back in the studio in a few weeks when Auburn and I are out of town. But yeah, Utah Utes basketball finally getting some a longer segment on them. We went to their first exhibition game.
I'm so excited to watch basketball again. It
Same.
was so fun.
Yeah,
It felt-
I think I was more excited to watch basketball this year than football prior to both seasons.
I agree. And boy, was that fun. And that was just an exhibition game.
Yeah, and the turnout wasn't great, but like Ethan mentioned, for an exhibition game that
It was
wasn't
pretty
really marketed that well, I think it was okay. The Musts obviously didn't show out at all. We had like 5 rows of Musts, but to be fair, there could be Must students sitting around the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
A lot of
it
people
felt
probably-
like, and honestly, we're so down there. You're not even looking back. Like I felt so loud and good. Like it felt so good to just sit in the second row and be able to really watch the game because you can really learn the players when you're right up front.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people were just going around the stadium trying to get like first row or something. So of course
Yeah.
like, the Must wasn't, but it was still pretty good. Like a lot of the other rows were going pretty high up, and I was happy with it. I hope we can get a sellout game this season that isn't
Me too.
BYU.
Maybe Arizona.
Yeah,
Bryce.
we'll
Right?
just see.
Right now, probably not.
Anyways, going into Nevada, I think it was really good to see us be tested against a team like Nevada from the Mountain West because our non-conference games, for some reason, we just don't schedule any big-name opponents. We play San Jose to start. We play Cal Poly.
We play
We
play
play-
Oregon.
I know we play in
Preseason
another
now.
exhibition.
Yeah.
So it was good to see a team like Nevada. Nevada in the preseason polls is ranked about 6th in the Mountain West, and the Mountain West is a good basketball conference. They have
Yes, they
Colorado
are.
State. They have Utah State. Some good teams over there. So I mean, it was our first time seeing all these new transfers. Keanu Dawes, our only starting returner, hadn't played with any of these guys in an organized game. So I think we learned a lot from this game. I think we're going to learn a lot from the Oregon game, just seeing how the lineups gel. Alex Jensen's first official game as head coach. Back in the Huntsman Center.
He was looking good out there.
He was looking good.
And a returning coach, assistant coach. I wish I knew his name, but he's on Nevada now, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah, and Nevada's head coach Steve Alford.
Oh, we stayed at his hotel.
Yeah, fun fact, we stayed at his hotel in Indiana. Anyway, let's get into the game. Obviously, Terrence Brown, standout player. We talked about him last week. He, I think, is the leader of this team.
100%.
Yeah, he showed out. Thankfully, I mean, he was probably the most hot on the team.
Yeah.
There were some other people that couldn't really get anything going. He kept it going.
I think he should be the only one carrying the ball up when he's there.
Yeah, he
like
was
I don't think
most of the time, but Abby was
I
doing
think-
it a lot when they were both on the court.
And
yeah.
I don't think Abby played that well.
Yeah, I think he had some good moments, but I think obviously.
I think he's. Sorry.
No, you're good. I think, Terrence Brown's point guard 1. I think he's going to be starting every game this season.
100%.
He had 27 points and 6 assists.
Yeah, I can see
can't
why
believe
he
that.
averaged 20. And like with Abby, he looked like a flashy. Like when he's driving, he looked really flashy. Like he could get the ball up there, but I don't know. Maybe it was the defense or the play calls. We just couldn't really get any. He couldn't really get that many like layups or shots off. And
Yeah, and he's pretty small.
I still think he can get something going. But for 6'3" at Terrence Brown, like he was really
Dominating.
good. He was really.
Yeah, and crazy another stat about Terrence Brown. Top 10 returning scorers to college basketball. Terrence Brown's 4th with 20.6 points per game last year for FDU.
I'm so glad we got him.
Yeah, we were missing another crucial guard, McHenry from Western Kentucky, out with an injury. Yeah, he's the point guard. And then obviously we were also missing the Western Kentucky transfer, Babacar Faye. He had crutches. I think he's going to be out for a longer time. Ibi Traore, who was injured all last season, still injured. Not sure about what his injury is, but I'd love to see him see the court, obviously. Keanu Dawes playing the 5 most of the night.
That was what I was going to talk about.
And he was 1 point away from a double-double.
Yes, he's going to be a double-double every game.
Keanu looked good. He's funny. He doesn't have a lot of emotion out there. He'll poster someone and maybe hit like a fist pump or something, but I think he's just a solid guy. I think not bringing emotion to the game can be a good thing as well. Him and Terrence linked up on a few plays. Looked good.
What a great duo.
Yeah. Utes fall 77-80 to Nevada. We cut it close. I think we were down 5 or 7 in the last minute, so it's good to see us crawl back to make it a 3-point game. But hats off to Nevada. Their defense smothered us a lot of the plays. They looked good.
Yeah, they found really good floaters and jumpers. Their threes, they had no threes.
Our defense,
no threes, and we still lost because of all their little jumpers.
Our defense was interesting. Like, we'd kind of given these open mid-range shots that were uncontested a lot of time, and they would just sink them easily. Like, something I kind of feel like we missed out on is there were some open shots we'd had that we wouldn't sink, and I feel like those are the kind of shots we need to be draining. But, of course, we can't really complain. It's their first, organized game together, and I'm still happy with it. I think it was still great. These guys are getting to know each other and getting to know how to play together. So
definitely some nerves. Like, you could really tell, even with Choppa, and you can just tell it's a new thing because it's they've never played together officially. So it's you could definitely see the nerves. But I think as it got through, more people started to stand out, and they're still figuring out lineups. I wish Alvin played a little bit more, especially for this first game. He looked pretty good to me for his only 2 minutes.
Alvin Jackson, the freshman, looked good in the few minutes he had. Put away a nice breakaway layup. But, Jacob Patrick, another name I want to mention, the German transfer. I think he's really looking to be our main 3-and-D guy.
Yes.
Obviously,
that's his main job.
Him and Choppa, they looked like they could only shoot the 3-ball. They were lining up for threes. But 3-and-D, that's a super important role player, obviously.
We need that.
And Jacob Patrick couldn't get his threes going at first, but he finally knocked him down. Jakai Howard, Auburn transfer, 4/5-star out of high school. I need to see him knock down some threes. He missed a lot, but he shot a lot. So that gives me confidence in that he's comfortable shooting a 3. Hopefully he can knock him down. But the freak of an athlete that he is, I think we need to see him dominating in the paint. He had a great alley-oop from Terrence Brown that got the crowd going.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, great. I think it was a great first exhibition game. Obviously, standards aren't too high. We have a lot of transfers. We're going to have to see how everything comes together with the regular season starting soon. Very interesting. Utes coming in at 13th out of 16 places in the coach's preseason poll for the Big 12.
That's okay.
That's not good.
No, that's okay. I said,
13th.
I would rather us be the underdogs.
Is anybody under us?
Yeah, 3 teams.
13 out of 16.
Yeah, so
I like us being the underdogs. I like us having something to prove. Alex Smith can. I mean, he doesn't, not like he has something to prove, but he can prove to people.
Alex Jensen?
Sorry. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe Alex Jensen. Alex Jensen can prove to people that he's a good coach and he can take this team far, maybe next season, this season. So I don't care if we're 13th. I think that's good to be the underdog.
Yeah, obviously.
I like that take.
I think looking at it from a bigger picture, Alex Jensen's first year, like Ethan said, I think it's important to just see how things go this year with not much of a standard, not much of a ceiling. Just looking at how everyone gels. Obviously, Terrence Brown Jr., I'm a little scared of him averaging 20 a season and transfer to a bigger Power 4 school at the end of the year. But he's gonna be great this year.
Yeah, I think something I'm very kind of nervous about is obviously Keanu Dawes is playing the center, but I think us not having a main role center, the tallest guy on the court being 6'9" is
3 of them.
a little scary. So I mean, Charlie, you explained this to me a little while ago that a lot of teams in college thrive off having that good center,
like Hunter Dickinson,
Anthony Davis.
Duke struggled when
Kyle Filipowski
had to play center because he's not.
And I mean, it kind of obviously I love Keanu Dawes, but I feel like maybe he would thrive more in a different position. I don't know. I'm not the guy.
I honestly think
to say that.
Jakai looks even taller sometimes.
So I think we would.
Hopefully
could get another center.
Babacar Faye, the injured transfer from Western Kentucky, he's also 6'9", but he's more of a center than Keanu Dawes. He can go up and get a board. I think seeing Babacar Faye at the 5 with Keanu comfortable at the 4 is what our end goal should be in the starting lineup. But then hats off to the British transfer.
Yeah. And Hayes. They both had some good shining
Okongwu.
moments.
Okongwu and the transfer from JUCO out of Florida, Josh Hayes. I think he looks good. Terrence Brown found him for some great assists. Terrence Brown, very underrated passer. I mean, you see him have 27 points, but those 6 assists also stand out. He's a selfless guy. He's an energy guy. You saw him talking once he got that breakaway dunk to start the game, had 7 of our first 10 points. And I think him just bringing the energy, obviously he's a guy that came from FDU. He was 5'3" to start high school. He's always been an undersized, overlooked guy. So I think his confidence is a huge part of this team. And, yeah, we face Oregon this week in another exhibition game before the season officially kicks off November 1st or 3rd. I don't know. Third, we play San Jose State. We just got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, some really exciting to see this new team. It's going to be a long road ahead, but hopefully we can just kind of build a foundation for Jensen to just be able to thrive and be this next dynasty for Utah, because this Runnin Utes team, like, we have not thrived really since the Kuzma era. So
yeah, 100% agree.
Era.
Yeah, but any other notes on Utah basketball?
No,
I think we're good, guys.
Anything else? I kind of wish we got this autographs at the end, but maybe the players don't want to sign autographs after they lose. I'm hoping we can get that autograph eventually. I want that poster on
that Jerry Quang
in my room, just of all the autographs under the players' names. Also, I just thought that game was great to get to know the players a lot more.
Yeah. Hopefully some more connections with Terrence Brown. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool he's already reposted.
So glad I got a picture with Terrence Brown. That was awesome.
Terrence Brown, I think we'll get into some more preseason predictions next week, but I think we're all looking for him to be the MVP
100%
of this team. Another name real quick, Seydou Traore, the transfer from Iowa, went down with a knock in the first half, so we didn't really get a good look at his potential, but he looked good in the minutes he played. Hopefully that injury isn't too serious. I think Alex Jensen just needs to learn a lot from these exhibition games to see who thrives where. Chapa, hopefully we can get him knocked down a 3 next game. Chakai, hopefully we can get him scoring more next game, because I think those are 2 super important parts of this team. But, yeah, obviously Keanu, Terrence looked like those 2 best guys on the team already in the exhibition. They just look comfortable.
And I know Kendall Sanders, he's just a regular freshman from the U, like who got recruited to the U.
Yeah,
did you know that?
I think he came from IMG Academy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe. He got a couple minutes. He had a 3.
Yeah, he looked good. I think obviously it might be a little too early to get a full perspective of the squad.
Got a young team.
It's just good to be back in the Huntsman Center. Good to be seeing Utah hoops. Good to see Terrence Brown finally suit up in that Utah Utes basketball jersey. It's exciting.
I'm so excited for basketball.
Me too. I'm so excited. Dude, James Okonkwo played on North Carolina at a point.
Really?
Dude, look at he's a senior. He's played on a lot of different teams.
Oh, yeah. It looks like he started on West Virginia, transferred to UNC for a year, and then to Akron, and then coming to the U. So, yeah, I think he also looked good playing that big man position. Like Ethan said, I think I'm a little worried about us not having a player over 7 foot, because I just know how important that can be in a team in college basketball nowadays. It feels like if you have the 7-footer that can shoot, pass, defend,
you're going to
dominate. So hopefully Keanu can adopt that role. At the beginning of the exhibition game, Okonkwo and Keanu were playing like a 2. They were both playing as center. It looked like they were both trying to hold down the paint. But hats off to Nevada coming in, beating us on the exhibition game. We'll see how we play against Oregon, and then look to San Jose State to start the season.
Awesome.
I think that wraps up the Utah basketball segment of the Grid City Press podcast, along with the episode as a whole. And I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Appreciate all the love and support. And we'll see you next week. We got a lot of games to look forward to.
Thank you.
See you later.